When we talk of corruption in education, when you discover that 8 students have to share over 1 book, when you know fully well that millions and millions of government money are being spent to purchase this book, then I guess it will be useless to spend any minute more on the effects of corruption in education. If you will ask me of the effect of corruption on the health, I think when you look at the lines of those poor people who wanted to seek medical assistance, I guess we are truly convinced of the effect of corruption on the health sector. But I think there is a far bigger effect of corruption that we can hardly measure. It is the effect on our morality. The loss of our value as a citizen, as a Christian. In fact, ito po yung sinasabi ko sa aking asawa at sa aking sarili. Inagaw ng korupsyon ang kainosentehan ng aking mga anak at ng oportunidad ko na makasama sila during the time when they are so young. Bakit po? Sapagkat nagtatrabaho po ako sa investigation, 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock, araw-araw. And after that, kung Sabado at Linggo, umiikot naman po kami sa mga local government para po mag-training sa procurement. And when I resigned, that was only the time that I realized my youngest daughter was already 14 years old.
Pakiramdam ninyo, ano ang hinahanap kung sino man yung pumasok doon?
Kasi ang simula ko nito, yung confirmation, pati tinatanong mo ako, saan ka nakatira? Sabi ko po, confidential po. Tapos tinanong po, bakit anong confidential sa address mo? Then binigay ko po yung addresses. And then after that po, niransak ko yung bahay. Siguro meron silang hinahanap or siguro meron silang gustong iparating sa akin. Isa po doon sa aming hinaharap ay nawala po yung original copy ng Makati report na ipinasubmit po namin sa ombudsman. Eh siguro baka nag-iisip sila na ako ang nagtatago ng original copy po. This morning at 6:10, I received a call. Ayaw ko na pong i-discuss yung details kasi po ongoing ang investigation. Kung ako po na may power at may position ay tinatakot at pinipressure, paano po mga auditors natin na katulad nila?
Sino po ang akusado doon sa Sandigan Bayan kung saan kayo listido?
Abot po ng aking pagkakaalam, ang mga akusado po, yung pong mga nakapirma po dun sa purchase order. Dr. Elenita Binay, yung pong dating head ng BAC na si Engineer Aspiliaga, si Nick Santiago po, napatay na, si Luz Yamani po at Dulce Cruz. Yun po yung abot ng aking nakakayang na nare-remember.
Your Honors, may I just emphasize that these accounts, 4 main accounts and the rest are baby accounts. And we are trying to show the circuitous movement of funds, meaning from the 4 main accounts, there are many accounts created, and all of them are in the name of the respondent. And may I also emphasize that the total inflow, meaning to say the deposits, the credit memo, the fund transfer, the internal remittances, total to 28,740,497.93.
How much?
28,740,497.93.
That is the
total inflow, Your Honor.
Of deposits.
Yes, Your Honor. Deposit, credit memos, internal remittances, meaning, Your Honor, anything that went in.
That entered the account.
Yes, Your Honor.
US dollars?
US dollars, Your Honor.
And how about the
total outflow?
Withdrawals.
The total outflow consisting of withdrawals, debit memo, purchases, electronic payments, outward remittances, amounted to 30,758,878.71. As you can observe, the withdrawal is bigger than the inflow simply because we have to emphasize these are transactions captured by the AMLC. And it only shows that there are heavy balances on the top of each account. It could either be the beginning balance. This proves the theory that the withdrawals is either equal or less than the deposit. So if I may again repeat, a total inflow of 28 million and a total outflow of $30 million.
The Audit Commission led the investigation against a former controller of the Armed Forces of the Philippines who pocketed 200 million pesos from the US and United Nations that were meant for soldiers. Mendoza talked about plans to intensify President Aquino's anti-corruption campaign. Among her next targets, billions of pesos in pork barrel funds that have been often abused by lawmakers.
Whenever they are elected, they are given everything. Like, for example, an allowance, okay? They would rent a house in Manila. And one rental costs 29 million for the entire year.
Dating AFP Controller Major General Carlos Garcia nasangkot sa mga kasong direct bribery at money laundering. Nagbabalik si Gary De Leon.
Eksklusibong nakuna ng News 5 si dating AFP Controller Major General Carlos Garcia noong July 14 habang nanonood sa aktibidad na pamimigay ng wheelchairs sa mga PDL ni Bucor Chief General Gregorio Catapang Jr. Kahit mahigit isang dekada na sa kulungan, nananatiling malakas ang pangangatawan ni Garcia. Ikinilong siya dahil sa pagtanggap ng mga kickback, komisyon at maging shopping money mula 1993 hanggang 2004. Ilang beses na pinalo ni Garcia ang kanyang release papers sa Bucor pero malakas daw ang public outcry sa kanyang paglaya, bribery at money laundering noong naninilbihan pa ang general bilang controller ng AFP. Pinagbabayad din siya ng kabuuang 407 million pesos. Yun nga lang, 2011 pa siya nakadetain sa Bilibid Kaya't napagsilbihan na ang minimum 8 years para sa kanyang mga kaso. Bukod kay Garcia, ipinag-utos naman ng anti-graft court na aresto ng misis at 3 anak ng general.
25 budget. Ang sabi nila, it's the most corrupt budget that we've ever had. Naniniwala ho ba kayo dito?
Naniniwala ako na ito na yung tawag natin dito, sinalaula na budget sa buong karanasan ko. And that means more than almost 30 years na experience. Bakit? Dahil may mga practice na practice na hindi na-align, hindi nakalinya sa tinatawag nating nakagawian or control practices nung nakalipas. Kasi yung budget, cumulative practices yan on the basis of FURIS and other international standards. Ngayon nakita natin na pati ang program funds, lumalaki. At pangatlo, ito yung biro ko kaya sabi ko sa mga kabataan, kailangan maging concerned kayo. Alam niyo kung bakit? Nung mga kapanahonan namin, baka bata ka pa na, mga dalaga pa kami, ang corruption na nangyayari sa budget execution. Ibig sabihin, kung naandyan ang pera, ang corruption ngayon, planning pa lang at allocation ng resources, di ba? Meron ng ini-advance para lang maisama, ini-advance sa legislator, at pag naisama, ini-advance din yung 30%. So, baka wala nang matira.
Commissioner, pag sinasabi ng iba, pag pinag-uusapan yung budget, pag-audit, napakalayo niyan sa bituka. Pero kayo nagpapatunay, nakadikit yan sa bituka. In fact, nakadikit yan sa kumakalam na sikmura.
Totoo po yun. Totoo yan, Carmina. Ang sabi ko nga, ang bulsa ng gobyerno, konektado sa bulsa ng bawat mamamayan. Bakit
Heidi Mendoza, sa ito po naman, para lang mas malinaw po ang isyong ito, doon sa iniharap mismo po ni Justice Amy Lazaro Javier na bahagi po ng sinasabing COA report. Magandang umaga po, Ma'am Heidi.
Ay, magandang umaga, Ed and DJ Chacha. Heidi lang. Oo.
Apo, sige.
Magandang usapan ninyo.
Okay, thank you po. Ito lang pong bahagi po nung Independent Auditor's Report para lang mas maintindihan namin. Sabi po dito, in our opinion, because of the significance of the matters discussed in the basis for adverse opinion section of our report, the accompanying financial statements do not present fairly in all material aspects the financial position of PhilHealth as of December 31, 2021 and 2020, and its financial performance and cash flows for the years ended in accordance with Philippine Financial Reporting Standards. Ano ibig sabihin doon, ma'am?
Ay, hindi po, ma'am. Heidi lang.
Opo,
Okay.
yes, Heidi.
Unang-una, ito yung suma total. Diretsoy natin. Ang ibig sabihin ng adverse opinion, merong significant na misstatement. Ibig sabihin, financial statement, hindi siya reliable. Hindi ka pwede magtiwala. Misrepresented. Ibig sabihin ay merong hindi tamang pagre-represent. Misstated. Hindi tama yung nakastate sa financial statement. At ito yung matindi. The financial statements do not accurately reflect the financial performance and the financial health. Ayan, related pa naman sa health of the organization. So matindi po ito. Kasi ang ibig sabihin po niyan, kung ako ay mag-i-invest at titingnan ko yung financial statement mo at ito yung opinion, hindi ako magkakaroon ng lakas ng loob. Dahil lang sinasabi yung financial statement mo ay hindi ko pwedeng pagtiwalaan para ako magbigay ng opinion. Para ako magbigay ng desisyon, di ba? At hindi rin siya nare-represent ng tama. Ibig sabihin, kung yung asset na naka-reflect doon, posible na mas malaki o mas maliit, hindi nga nare-represent ng tama. In other words, yung kahuli-hulihan na talagang pinakang mahalaga, they do not accurately reflect. Hindi wasto, hindi sakto ang pagkaka-reflect, ang pagkaka-report ng kanilang financial performance. Malaki ang implication nito. Kasi kontrang-kontra ito doon sa tinatawag nilang, ay meron.
She's a senatorial candidate in next year's elections, and she's also exposed a number of allegedly anomalous government transactions. Hi, Commissioner. Good afternoon to you. All right. Our headlines today saying, there is no Mary Grace Piatos. That confirmation being given by the Philippine Statistics Authority. How surprised are you, Commissioner Mendoza, with that finding?
Okay, Carmina, actually, to be honest, I'm no longer surprised. It is something that is expected. You see, as a trained fraud auditor, we are quite sensitive with the so-called following the red flags, such as yung mga patterns, oddities, at saka yung frequency. At ito nga ang combination ng restaurant at saka ng chichirya. Ito yung sinasabi natin mga oddities na hinahanap natin at fina-flag natin as red flags. So, hindi na nagulat. Medyo alam ko na yan ang magiging resulta.
Pero ito ay mas napag-alaman pa during the Quadcom hearing. At the level of the Commission on Audit, you call it a red flag, but in this current crop of auditors, should they have called it a red flag?
Well, I think they have raised it as a red flag, the very fact that they have issued a disallowance, right? And ang inaano ko lang dito ay actually itong ginawa ng Quadcom or Good Governance Committee, it is an additional, ang tawag natin dyan ay parang audit technique in gathering evidence. Ang gusto kong idagdag dito ay lalo nitong pinatibay yung certification ng National Statistics Authority. Lalo niyang pinatibay na, Diyos ko Lord, huwag na kayong umasa pang mababaliktad ang disallowance pagdating sa appeal. Diba? Kasi pag nila sinasabi, hindi pa tapos yan, magbabago pa yan, hindi pa final. With this evidence coming out, medyo tanggapin na natin, mahirap mabaliktad dito. Anyway, sabi ko nga, the notice of disallowance is already a demand to restitute the amount. So if they're saying, well, for due process, for the purpose of, gaya nga sinabi ko, starting the adjudication process,
kailangan i-go through yung appeal process at yung i-review yung action ng auditor. But these documents and information being shared with the public is very helpful. As I have said, we need to be more vigilant. Ilalaban na natin yan hanggang 180 days. Tingnan natin kung anong magiging action.
Commissioner, yeah,